set up with your knees pretty wide apart. I have mine wider than my shoulders. One hand central to the body. Wrist issues, push your bottom backwards so there's less pressure on the wrist. Fingertips to temples. Swivel on the axis of your own spine. You are trying to get your shoulders vertically stacked. Point down to the floor, but keep sticking your chest out. Stick your chest out. As you swivel, you will swivel more. We have 10 of these on one side, 10 on the other. If you can keep the weight a bit further forward, it does target the upper back more so. How are you doing at remembering neutral neck position? The chin is retracted, the back of the neck is long. The way we taught the neck to feel when we held the cushion against the wall with the back of our head. The straighter the back feels, the more you will be able to twist. This is a good thing. So although you can see the elbow moving, it is just as decoration. Each time at the top, feel as if you're pushing the top shoulder backwards, 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 backwards. Make sure you don't go into joint pain. Once you've done 10, change sides. Hand supports you, fingertips to temples. Brace the core. Exhale on the lift. If you're taking some more Pilates principles, keep bracing your core. Exhale on the lift. The lift is what I'm interested in, although the touchdown is also okay. But the lift is the main concern. Exhale, rotate. Any joint issues, dizziness or tingling, you stop this exercise, it is not for you. This is designed for a client who has compression in the vertebrae of the spine, but we have green lighted that he is okay and safe to do these exercises with 2 or 3 medical professionals. It's his neck. We're not messing around and taking any risks with that. Once you've done your 10, we need to also release the hips, very closely related to the neck. Take a lie down on your back. If you find yourself, and a lot of you will find yourself lying with your chin away from your chest, and it will be uncomfortable to tuck your chin down to chest, because you're trying to do everything in the position you had when you held the cushion against the wall with your head. So find that position. If it's not comfortable, you need a little something under your head. A cushion is often good. Maybe rolling something up behind the back of the head, but you should not be like this. Once you've found your position where the back of the neck feels long, you can feel a gap between each vertebrae. It feels great. Then you're going to straighten one leg, right down the midline of the body. Use your opposite hand to grab the outside of your leg, and your spare arm is in line with your shoulder or even slightly higher up in line with your head. Turn your palm to the ceiling and wriggle your shoulder blade towards your spine. So you've got opposite hand to leg. Your straight arm is energized because you've squeezed your shoulder blades together. Your straight arm, the palm is facing the ceiling, really important. Your other leg is straight and pressing against the floor. So arm and leg straight. Try not to let your ribs lift up. I know this is technical, but it's worth doing. So exhale like you're emptying and squeezing together a pair of bellows right from your ribs. Breathe in, exhale and twist. Breathe out to reset. The breath is a bonus, it's not essential. Any breathing will do. We have 10 of these. My shoulder is staying on the floor. You can turn your head along that straight arm if it's not too much for your neck. Most of us will be more comfortable with our eye gaze up at the ceiling. We must just try and imagine that we've got a gap between each vertebrae. That's the main thing. Once you can do that position, find that position, and it's second nature, then you can focus on really keeping the ribs down, pressing the shoulder into floor, keeping the shoulder blades together, adding your breath. Once you've done 10, change sides. So the other teaching points are bonuses. The main thing is get the neck position, pin the shoulder to floor. Rotate. If you're ready for more coaching points, don't forget about your straight leg pressing into floor. Squeeze bum, twist. When you're more efficient at Pilates, you'll be doing this with neutral spine. And if you've done some of my other classes, you will understand about holding energy in the muscles. It feels like all the muscles are lightly squeezing, as if you're having to push or pull, perhaps pulling against a band. I say you're ready for me to push you over at any point. All the muscles are gently switched on. What's the best neck position? Eye gaze to ceiling. Or maybe looking down your outstretched arm. Once again, trying to keep neutral spine, not letting the ribs pop up, if you're ready for that as a coaching point. We need to just check the nervous system is quite released. We'll start with some hip bridges. Squeeze the muscles of the bum. Roll your pelvis towards you. This is a posterior tilt. Your lower back's gone flat. Now just push your feet into the floor and you'll feel one vertebra at a time lift off the floor. Try not to push up with your ribs. Keep these nice and close to floor. Back of the neck is long, lower back down. If you've got something under the back of the head, worth getting rid of it for this move. So you might start off with the chin away here. Forget about it, don't worry about it, because when you lift one vertebra at a time, it tends to organize the spine. We've got 10 of these, this is number 2. So you can just do the move, or you can take the nuances with me. Posterior tilt, brace the core Pilates style, simply press down with the feet. Your hips will lift. Basic laws, equal and opposite reaction to every move, to every force. Newton's laws, yes? This is designed to get the vertebrae moving one at a time in the spine. Everything is connected, your back needs to release. My bottom is squeezing, my inner thighs are tensing, and I'm bracing my core. Breath work if you want it. Breathe out, lift the hips. Breathe in, lower back down. Breathe out, lift the hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, lower back down. Breathe in without anyone hyperventilating. Breathe out, lift the hips. Breathe in, lower back down. Let's add on. Hips up, hold your hips up, check your ribs are down, arms go overhead. Just see how close to the floor you can get without forcing them. Take them wide if it's shoulder pain, or bend the elbows. Just get to where you can. Now try and land one vertebra at a time. So ribs down first, then your mid-back, then your bottom. And then reset the arms. If you've not gone too far with the arms, you shouldn't have shoulder pain. Let's try some more. Hips up, arms up. Leave your arms there. Lower down one vertebra at a time. Reset. Hips up. Arms overhead. One vertebra at a time lowers. So there's a little bit of concentration here. You're trying to keep that wonderful position in the neck. You're trying to loosen up your spine and your shoulders. But in everyday life, there's a lot of multitasking going on. And you don't get a chance to sit and think, oh, where should my neck be? Where should everything else be? So we practice it here in class. Until it eventually becomes second nature for the rest of the time. Let's make this the last one. Arms stay overhead. You lower down one vertebrae at a time. We need to release just a little bit more. Let's prepare the hips. So, block your knee from coming in towards you. We're trying to warm up the front of the hip, and maybe anywhere along here as well. Roughly 10 seconds, breathing out. Breathe in, lower down. Breathe out, hold for 10, 9, 8. Any kind of slow breath will do. 3, 2, 1. One more time on each side. 10 seconds. How many breaths is that? How slow can you breathe? Check your back's comfortable. Check you're not overly stressing the neck and arms and shoulders. Do you need to put your cushion back under your head? And stop and do that before you do the last one of these on each side. So we've got 4 of these. Just a little bit of muscle energy technique. Roughly 10 seconds only. Let's prep the back of the leg. Hold the back of the leg, clasp the hands, press away from you. Now I've got bent elbows. I'm pressing my back of my leg into my hands. And if it feels nice, you might let your shoulders slide down your back. Sometimes that's too much stress on the neck. Release, change sides. If you're feeling this is making you lightheaded, keep your shoulders shrugged towards your ears. Don't let your shoulders slide down your back. Depends what you've got going on. If you've got tight medial nerves or other nerves around there, letting your shoulders slide down your back is just a little bit too much without supervision. Change sides. One more time on each side. Press the back of the leg into the hand. Maybe let the other leg straighten and press to floor if that's comfortable for your back. So your other straight leg is quite energetic. Slide your bent leg in. Lower your lifted leg. Change sides. Grab the lifted leg first. Press it into your hands. Stretch the other leg away. Reset. Let's get a little bit of release for the hamstrings. So this is quite gentle. You bring the knee as close to your chest as you can. You're pushing into your hand, or you can have a balloon or a football and try and squish it between your chests. And then you're going to lift the foot as high as you can, lower it back down. This is not about getting your legs straight. Just lift and lower. Keep pushing into your hand. Relatively firmly, just check it's not so firm that your neck and shoulders is carrying the tension. Squeeze the bum, squeeze the tummy. Two more. 8 is enough of these. It doesn't feel like it's doing much. You might feel a gentle stretch at the top. Lower down, change sides. Tensions if you're squishing a balloon between your tummy and your leg. Press your leg into your hand. Remember, you're looking for a gentle stretch at the top, nothing too much. This is number 4 of 8. Don't know about you, my arms are getting a bit of a workout. So my knee is as close to chest as I can, especially as my leg goes straight or straightish. If you are fully straightening your legs, you can probably do the splits. If you can't touch your toes and you're fully straightening your leg, you haven't got your knee close enough to your chest. It should be almost impossible, if not impossible, for you to straighten your leg. Okay, so now we've stretched out here, let's try a single leg scoop. One leg straightens, lifts on up, pulls towards you as straight as you can. Don't worry if you can't get it this high. Lower it back down nice and straight, change sides. So we're going to stretch and lift, and you're going to lift your chin up. I know I said you weren't allowed, you are allowed. You're going to tuck your chin down, point your toes, and reset. Push your heel away, lift your leg, find a stretch, lift your chin up just a little, tuck your chin down, point your toes, reset. Go again, push into your heel, lift your chin up. Over time, you'll be able to do this with a neutral spine, but maybe imprinted spine is better for you here, where your lower back is pushed into floor. If you don't want to think about spine, as long as you're not in pain, try and get the flossing right. The chin up, the chin down, the toes up, the toes down. So when your toes and leg go up, your chin goes up. Don't go too far. Chin down, toes down, leg down. We've got 8 of these on each side. If we do it right, the leg will start to go closer to us effortlessly. Chin down, toes down. Now we can work at this with lots of different levels. I'm going extra cautious and extra gentle. And everything we're doing is with neck support. Breath work if you want. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Chin down, toes down, leg down. Breathe out. Chin up, heel up, leg up. Breathe in, chin down, toes down, leg down. One more on each side. Stretch the straight leg, lift the chin and heel. Tuck chin, lower down. Reset. Final drill. We're going to do a little bit of strengthening work, and we're going to also stretch the muscles in the back body. So link your hands as we did in one of the drills standing up, and these linked fingers go behind your head. If this is causing discomfort for your shoulders, grab something stretchy like a sock. Hold the hands 2-3 inches apart, not really much further the further apart the kinder it is to your shoulders. The hands are as close together as you can tolerate. Pop the sock right under the base of the skull and find neutral cervical spine. So that position, that neutral neck position. Tuck chin and lift the head to where you can. And lower down. You're trying to hold that neck position. Wouldn't you believe it that my alarm's going off for my roasted carrots? So can you create that lift? You're lifting the head, lifting one vertebrae up at a time. There's a point that's enough. Keep your elbows as wide as you can as you lower up and down. Lift the head, elbows as wide as you can as you lift and lower. Lower back down. You have 4 more. Tuck the chin, lift, elbows as wide as you can. Lower back down. If your neck doesn't like this, stop. Make sure you're not yanking your neck. Make sure it feels like you're gently pressing the head into the hands, but only gently, the way you have the cushion in place. Last couple. Breathe out, lift, breathe in, lower. And then we take the arms wide, knees together, maybe a cushion between the knees. We're twisting side to side just as far as you can. If you want something a bit more advanced, we're off the floor. Press the back of the arms to floor. Try not to let the shoulders leave the floor. And find a position that's comfortable for the neck. Now don't forget, the drills I've done, I know exactly what's going on with my client's neck. I know that he's safe to do all these exercises. If you have any doubt, then you need to chat to a medical professional before you try any of these. And it also depends what is going on with your neck. It might be that your muscles are squishing down on a nerve, and it might not even be the disc squishing on a nerve. So you might have a trapped medial nerve, and you might need to just do some different kind of nerve flusses. It does depend what's going on with your body. But if it's compression of the neck, and you've told it's safe to do some controlled exercises where your neck is braced, then give these a go and let me know how you get on. Let's hope we didn't stress you too much with my alarm going crazy. You need to do these at least 3 times a week, every day if you feel you're getting on with them. The more regularly you do them, the quicker you're going to see those results.